Hello, hello. Thanks for requesting me. Welcome back to Disco Elysium. I don't remember what we're doing. Got the body down. And that was my big adventure. Okay, let's see. Who made the call recording the crime? End of the day debrief with Kim. After, I'm not good at military time. What's that? 10 o'clock. Thanks. Thanks, Stove. Appreciate it. So, they want us to get the boots off the guy. Can we... Kim put the body in here.
You see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Sure.
The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar in your palm. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm. Next to the gauge is a red switch labeled heat.
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start without the ignition key.
Translation. We're not going anywhere right now. Alternative translation. Don't even think you can drive my MC. A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks into place. The tools inside are neatly organized.
I can't put my tools back because we had a chain cutter earlier that we took from here. I wanted to put it back. I wanted to be polite for Kim. You know? Since we're such a screw up. Jeez. Put it back.
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge casts a warm glow on.
Okay, so I can't really get the boots off the guy because he's like in the car. Oh, there's a bench. Can I go sit on the bench? Take a load off. Is this a way to pass time?
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
Sorry, Kim.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
Thanks, tutorial agent. Okay, so that's a way to speed up time. That's nice. But I have to wait until Kim is gone. Let's see. Hey, you guys.
I like playing in the dark. Sharpens your nocturnal instincts. Feels like being on recon again.
You seem to be playing in a crater.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game.
Does it have anything to do with all the bullet holes I've been seeing around?
Yes. It was left by heavy artillery fire.
Okay, it's a crater left by heavy artillery fire, but why?
Why what?
Why was heavy artillery used?
Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home.
Wait, who are the communards again?
Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose a name to feel special. Senseless sentimentality.
Did you use artillery fire against them?
Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
Why'd shell them here in Martinez?
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first.
The beachhead?
Yes. The military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol. Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta.
Deathblow sounds grim.
This here is Blood Ground, where Coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we plagued Betonk on their mangled corpses.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Ah, that explains all the war damage.
Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too.
There's a strange gleam in his eyes.
The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they still hold influence.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players of the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think?
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
Nothing. I don't think I just do.
I'm just so damn sorry it had to be the coalition. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned to Revachol, or even if that damn clan Frisel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case.
This royal failure weighs heavily on him.
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio.
He sighs.
This is just what the commies wanted. This was the plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with.
Who was this Frisell?
Damn Frisel. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution.
You mentioned Guillaume?
A true king in both blood and mind led Revachol before Frisel. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile.
Some manner of self-deceit is present in his thinking. Sounds like this Guillaume abandoned him, and he doesn't want to admit it.
What exactly is a suzerain?
The suzerain is the king. Has everyone forgotten already? They've forgotten already. It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the Fifth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
Renee, I found your guard booth.
Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the night. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight.
He adds with a slight sigh.
He feels like he has to justify himself for some reason.
You must have seen something on the night of the murder. Your booth looks right into the yard.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday.
So who was working your shift that night?
No one. The booth has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other guard. It's just me.
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes. It's not actually an issue. I mean...
Look, officers. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative.
Mostly decorative?
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals.
He tries to argue.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiners' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Everett gets it. Big guys looking after the small and everyone working together. I love it.
Can we conclude the topic of my guard boost now?
Got it, thanks.
Yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
I have really outdone myself. This is divine.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More padding on that fat ass of yours. I hope your heart gives out.
Honey, it's a little pleasures. Life doesn't need to be a struggle. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day?
Tell me, what do you know about the dead man?
Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really.
Shame, maybe you can help me with something else then.
Of course, officer. I mean, I hope I can. What's on your mind?
What are the rules of this game?
Oh, the goal is to throw your bull as close to the cochonnet as you can. That's the cochonnet.
Interesting, tell me more about it.
Well, first, you draw a circle about a half a meter in diameter. We made ours out of rope. Then, the order of play is determined by a coin toss. You win it. You get to throw the cochonnet. Then, the players aim to throw their bulls as close to the cochonnet as possible. They must stay in the circle and keep both feet planted.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Pétanque?
I could, but I'd rather not. I don't want to take up your time with trivial details, officer.
I think I get it. Thanks, Gaston.
You'll put that knowledge to good use in 50 years. I'm sure of that, officer.
I don't like where this is going, officer. Don't you think we should do something else now?
No, I want to talk to him. I promise it won't be about Pétanque.
Hurry up, then.
Looks delicious. Point to the sandwich. Can I have a bite of that?
I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't share food. Nothing personal, it's just a principle.
The only one you have.
Okay, I'm not that hungry anyway.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. You must have other business then?
Bye for now. Okay. I guess we could talk to the lady in the bookstore.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
What if I want to buy a book?
Then why are you talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel compelled to buy anything? See those shelves there? Go, be drawn.
So what types of books do you have?
Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. The shelves compel you, don't they?
She's attempting to mentally direct you towards the shelves. She only wants you to buy the goods. She doesn't care about the books.
Do you even know what kind of books you have for sale?
Truth be told, not really. My sister brings in most of the goods. I'm sure it's all very literary stuff with well-written prose. But you don't learn about the important things in life from fabricated stories.
Wait, shouldn't a storekeeper know about her wares?
I provide a valuable service. As long as people buy books, I'm fine.
She wiggles her bony fingers at you. Where do you learn about the important things, then?
The truth is available if you just know where to look, and you have to open and free your mind to understand.
She nods at you cryptically. Alright, I'll take a look then.
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
Farewell for now, book peddler. Oh, I can go upstairs. What's behind this secret curtain?
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Examine this strange cage-like trinket.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you.
She's a witch!
Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
Shopkeeper, what's behind the curtains?
Nothing. Why aren't you browsing the books? Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? You ought to.
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
Sorry. She's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Pull open the curtains.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers.
Her hand has closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman.
Parapsychologically speaking, we're dumb if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer and I need to get in there.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there.
She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness.
I am sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
But I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold.
You do? My God. Even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir.
Alright, I'll think about it for a
Thank
while.
you. Let's just talk about this first, all right? There's no reason for you to venture into the unknown.
What are you, a coward? Think about the marvelous adventures waiting for us on the other side.
Yes, we'll open it eventually, Necktie.
Talking is always good. There is something
Let's see what she has to
serious
say.
about the curtains. Be careful. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you.
Okay. Oops.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over.
Look through the display of books.
Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf?
Sure thing.
You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get Me Mullen. The Stalwart Adventures of Richard P. Mullen. Dick Mullen and the Murder in the Orchard. The Sordid Affair of Dick Mullen. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. The final case of Dick Mullen. An obvious lie. Dick Mullen in the clock tower. The ordeals of Dick Mullen. Dauntless Dick. Dick Mullen's funeral pyre. The murder of Dick Mullen.
Okay, let's stop now.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels.
Let's talk to the lady about whatever's behind there.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Why are you so uptight about those curtains? I just want to know what's on the other side.
I already told you, it's just a storage room for employees. I don't understand why it's so important to you.
I haven't become violent yet. Not yet.
Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books.
If it's just a storage room, then why do you have that strange trinket on the curtains?
It's just for decoration.
She wavers under your gaze, mouth pressed into a tight-lipped smile, then something breaks.
Okay, fine. It's just because this place is cursed, just like everyone said. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything?
She closes her eyes and starts mumbling something to her pendant. Have you sought help from anyone?
Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists, and even a pair of Simonese mediators. They provided me with the wards.
She nods at the strange cage-like trinket on the curtains.
The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building, even though now I fear it's not enough.
How does this curse manifest itself?
The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation.
A shiver runs through the woman as she looks around their dimly lit store.
It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy.
She peers at the curtains again.
Didn't that curtain just move?
Oh, well, I'm a little confused. What does that mean?
Everyone knows that all the previous companies in this building have sooner or later declared bankruptcy, and their malicious spirits are still here, feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here.
Sounds familiar.
Strange. I feel unwanted too. What does it mean?
Truly so? Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off you. You shouldn't stay in the store too long. It may be dangerous.
Is your pendant part of the wards as well? Point at her necklace.
Oh, this? No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans, with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. It's guaranteed to boost sales 15%.
Desert pygmy shamans. That sounds like a rather questionable way to describe a group of people.
Why didn't you just tell me right away it's the curse?
It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism, it's dangerous. Talking about the void wraiths angers them.
Wow. Void raves. You have new words.
Would you like me to take the case? I could investigate to see if the curse is real.
Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away. Leave the spirits be.
Hi, Usagi.
So they can return to their slumber.
My liege, you know what this case calls for? A para-detective.
Oh, yeah. Convince her to let you investigate the doomed commercial area.
Slither
Yes.
up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like.
I'm good. Kind of tired. But, you know. Ma'am, I came here to help. I've handled paranatural situations before.
Are you sure? Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before.
I've returned from the void, a para-detective from a long line of para-detectives.
You're no paradetective. You look nothing like one. And you're clearly a drinker.
Oh my god.
Pardon me for being so blunt, but
You look like one.
You look like one.
The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks out his notebook. Go ahead then. Rock her world, he thinks. I'll compose some notes.
Oh yeah, since we're mutuals, I made you one. I make my mutuals, who are VTubers, that is, drinks. That's what I do. I've got a few that I gotta catch up on. Glad you liked it. Let's see. I admit I've had my share of drinks, but only because the spectral realm of parapsychology is taxing. Parapsychologically taxing.
How do you know all this?
Here we go.
I'm the Void Revenant. I have the powers to debat all the bad energies.
I should have realized. A pattern lies within the fabric. The hand of fate guides us. Our meeting couldn't have been mere chance.
Perhaps you truly are the one to deliver this woman from the doom.
But I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe? I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us.
No problem whatsoever. Your family is safe. The phantoms are no match for me.
If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear it?
A hand on your heart. On my honor.
Thank you, sir. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entity.
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
Of course, the entity, for I have sensed its presence.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman. A witch, probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney?
Chimney, the passage between heaven and hell, of course.
Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Here's the key to the warded door behind the curtains. Take it. Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked round. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. What you discover in there.
Unbelievable darkness and ruin. What you discover? Probably just some office space. Don't be scared.
Farewell for now, book peddler. Woo!
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
She tries her best to look away, her round face buried in her hands. Ghostly silhouettes of hair dryers. A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man. Merely looking at that unmanly haircut threatens your masculinity.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
Knock on the door.
Only an echo. No one is there.
Unlock the door with a key.
After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room.
Kim, maybe you should go first.
Detective, you're the one in charge.
Open the door and enter. Finally, adventure. Sand is dripping from a punch bag. The poster says Situius Fortis, the rest is worn off. Worn out wall bars, they look unsafe.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar?
Hi, Raven Moon. Nuzzle, nuzzle, nuzzle. Look, Kim, it's a trap. There's no collars on the barbell.
You're right. The weight's made for love. Better not touch it then.
Actually, what kind of bastard would just remove the collars? That should be a felony.
It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
Leave. Okay, looks like Kim has something to say to us, so...
What
Was-
is this place?
The lieutenant stares at the dusty training equipment. It's the netherworld beyond the veil.
No, it's a gym. Though it looks like no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. We should find a flashlight if we want to go on. There should be one in my kinema.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Let's go get the
The
flashlight then.
lieutenant.
Okay. The store on the other side is closed for the night. Come back tomorrow. How do I get out of here then? What the fuck? Oh my god. The hallway is blocked by old window panes and debris. Kim, what do we do?
It's dark.
Lieutenant states the
This
obvious.
would be a lot easier with a flashlight. I've
Yeah.
got one in the kinema's toolbox. We should go back for it before we continue. No sense in tripping around in the dark.
Some areas are inaccessible without your flashlight. After you've acquired it, go to your inventory and equip it in a held slot to continue exploring.
How do we get out?
The barbell waits patiently on the floor.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hey, a flashlight! Okay. A large demijohn full of strange liquid. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. Airship rotors covered in spiderwebs. They remind you of blades. $3, baby. A naked mannequin torso, a strange yellow color. Blue velvet, soft to the touch, moth-bitten. Steel rotor blades bearing a Slipstream logo. Skis with Slipstream painted on the laminated top layer.
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here.
I don't get it.
Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same Slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and then pivoted to producing the other.
But the question is, which did they start with and which did they pivot to?
That's a good question.
Hi, OPE. Have fun lurking. What a strange leap of imagination, and yet they still failed. How sad.
Reality is ruthless. This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
That's fair.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
He sounds surprised and a bit cautious. Do you think I should turn it on?
We have one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it.
Turn on the machine.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open.
Look inside the compartment.
It's empty, like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected.
This is where the memory should go.
Press print.
Nothing happens.
Press play.
Nothing happens.
Okay. Press play again.
Nothing happens.
$1.50, baby.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board.
Inspect the drawings.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind?
They were playing D&D in here.
You should adopt one of those welkins as your persona. No longer a mere man, but a welkin. One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Examine the Balkan. This is important.
It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them purged. Imagine a world filled only with welkin, green welkin, dread welkin, and the high welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures.
One of them is a welcome supremacist.
Political commentary. That one has a great beard too.
The lieutenant nods at the Welkin's facial hair. Why would anyone spend so much time on this?
Some people really like building a world, I think. Even if it's just for games.
Who are these creatures? Who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions.
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
Well, this has been educational. Let's move on from the Welkins.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
And for what? All gone.
Inspect the photos.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dwarf, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world.
Yes, eggnog or morphine. Very, very similar things.
A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Inspect the schedule.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money.
Keep reading. What happened?
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Aww.
Looks like they didn't make it.
The lieutenant looks at the frigid ice field of nothingness.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
Inspect the notes.
The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: Call in, tune out, Wirral untethered, and Heat death of the universe.
Scribbled across a notebook, developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. The whole thing resembles Cadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic.
Hold on. How do I know what Cajun mosaic tiles are supposed to look like?
History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun.
What am I looking at?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Radio frequencies for what?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
Of course. The anatomy of the curse.
Perhaps. The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red harp, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants.
Wait, who's the game master?
Someone very important. The leader of a massive on-air game built by these people. A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency.
If it's a game, then who's playing?
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. All of this is gone, left unrealized. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
Why do you say that?
The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
What else? Squinted the lines.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
It's just a failed business. The only question is what the hell were they making?
Yes, that is the question.
The lieutenant takes a step back, steepling his hands.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
And what, this was a role-playing game?
Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with heat death thrown in.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
Has anyone ever done this before?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry.
Not in Revachol West, among the ruins.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interinsulary game before. We just don't have the technology.
How are they planning to do that?
Through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
What do you think happened to the company?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard.
Wow.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
The world is cold and lonely. This would keep it company. Let's finish it.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid.
He says, looking around the derelict room. The pipes howl as a rat crosses the floor.
Okay, let's keep moving.
Oh, thank God, I can get out of here. I was like, I've been trapped. I'm trapped inside the store. There's nothing I can do. Oh shit, I'm still in here. Is that a fridge?
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy?
Crack the door open.
A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Look inside the refrigerator.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
Take the note from the door.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Okay. Examine one of the ice cream wrappers in there.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge.
What is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place?
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
Lieutenant reaches for one of the wrappers. He studies it in the light. So they tried to sell ice cream from this hyper-carnivore?
I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The lieutenant points at the red snaky cable running from the fridge.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic.
Close the door. Okay, a handwritten note you found from the giant ice bear fridge. It still bears some marks from the fruit-shaped kitchen magnets that were used to secure it to the refrigerator door. Yeah, it still bears some marks. Did I press the wrong button? I'm always pressing the wrong fucking button.
The
There.
note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
The lieutenant leans closer to read the crumpled note you over your shoulder.
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active.
Read the note.
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe.
Kuno.
You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Sully Swaff.
Who's the illiterate ginger kid?
Really? You don't have a single guess?
You mean Kuno?
Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter.
I wonder who wrote that note.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here.
Maybe they had to leave in a hurry.
That's a plausible hypothesis.
Remind me again, what's a filament memory?
It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer.
Do you have any idea where the frozen ice cream maker could be?
I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge.
Put the note away. Oh, I can interact with the tattoo.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time the lines intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. It still kind of looks like a map of the stars in the night sky, but something's not right.
What's the meaning of this tattoo?
For you to discover. You've gotten as far as you will without assistance.
Who are you?
Gone.
Put the photo away.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
Flip through the pages, see what catches your eye.
To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white. After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections. International developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
Read the editor's note.
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal a la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going a la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. Only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
Play it cool, pretend everything's in order.
You flip back to the front of the magazine.
Okay.
The table of contents unfolds before you.
Put this away for now. The flashlight casts a strange shadow. There's a hidden doorway here. Two rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Look, there's a hole in the wall. Shine light on the hidden compartment.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Okay, I do. Look inside.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Rifles, Kim.
Are these any good?
Inspect the rifles.
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others. Take it. You're a police officer. Police officers carry guns.
This one looks nice. Takes the rifle.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
Where are we? Look around the secret room.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
What does this mean? A rifle here.
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
Leave. A frozen ice cream maker that's still running. Oh, there it is.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker.
Leave them
nearby.
alone. Tank top. Intercom runner wires running into the breaker box. Are those stairs? I'll leave that alone for now then. What's down here? 45 cents, baby! A cellar window. People's feet shuffling by on the street at this hour. $0.70 in a fire extinguisher, baby. Or no Safed. It looks like a fire extinguisher. An ice cream maker, defrosted and unplugged. $2, baby.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Kim, what is this thing? Is it a furnace?
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney.
He opens up the door and gingerly peeks inside.
No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
Look inside the furnace.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs.
What are you doing?
I'm not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone talking upstairs.
Wait, really? Should investigate. See if someone's upstairs.
You muster all your strength and yell.
Heh heh.
Your dehydrated, hungover throat can produce little more than a dry croak. A lifetime of smoking and drinking will do that to you. The chatter from the chimney continues on as before. You seem to have made no impression on whatever's up there. Then again, maybe it's worth actually trying something up there.
Maybe you should let your voice rest, officer. Try again later.
Those voices I heard. Maybe it's the malignant entity. Placent said it lives in a chimney.
You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected. But malignant entities don't exist. At least not the supernatural kind.
Always has to be the skeptic, this man.
Kick it with your foot.
A hollow ring echoes
Ow.
through the furnace. Your toe hurts.
Smear your hands with coal. Why not?
A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the wrinkles. Your hands look ancient. You feel the spirit of Ramut Karzai, ancient hero of Grad, pulsing through you. All that's left is to cover your face in war paint.
No, let's not express ourselves. Let's wipe our hands clean on our pants.
Yes, how grown up. The furnace agrees. The lieutenant seems relieved as well.
You hear a woman's voice and answer.
You've awakened the entity.
Hello, are you there? Speak to me.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
Okay, thank you.
You hear a low rumble upstairs. The sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
The wall collapse is inaccessible now. Okay, hopefully we can get out of here. If not, we're just gonna have to, like, load an old save. Yes, Kim? What is it? Why are we walking over here? Talk to Kim.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I haven't paid the cafeteria manager for damages yet,
You should take care of that, man.
but I don't have the money.
Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the streets. We'll figure something out.
Okay.
Though he finds this situation frustrating, he is doing his best to not make you feel any worse than you already do.
Thank you, Kim. I feel so sorry for Kim. Like, what if we bring him one of these ducks, you know? What if we bring the cafe manager one of these ducks? Because he's been trying to fix a duck. Right? Thank God we got outside. I was so worried. I'm like, I'm gonna have to restart my fucking game. Like,
An old call box with a matrix. East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the doomed commercial area.
how do I get to the second floor? Oh, damn it. Kuno's still here. Go home. Go home, Kuno. Little bastard. Let's see. There might be a bug. I had a bug earlier where I couldn't get past, like I had to reload and stuff because, the game just froze on me. It just completely froze. I would Google it. Okay. Let's put our flashlight away. Hi.
Can I help you?
So about the money I owe.
Yes. Have you got it?
I was wondering if we could come to some sort of arrangement for tonight.
Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
Kim is about to say something, let him.
I understand your predicament as the manager. However, I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation that also affects your business.
Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more committed to drinking, and
He shrinks back a bit under the lieutenant's severe gaze.
Thanks, Kim.
I mean no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment.
This conversation isn't going anywhere, is it?
Not until you bring me the money.
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
I really didn't want to resort to this. The man is thinking.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here.
Okay. Sorry, Kim. Steal.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
I have something here we could sell. Look in the back, in the suspect transport enclosure.
Transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps are stacked against the seat. Their silver edges sparkle in the dark.
I confiscated these 4 a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal.
What do you mean you confiscated them?
A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son and high.
So you took his spinners?
Mm-hmm. I took them and arrested him for driving under the influence.
Well, I get it. I would have confiscated them too. They're mesmerizing.
That they are. I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked for them back.
Thanks, I appreciate your help.
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
Is the pawn shop even open? It's like 10 p.m. Where am I? This way. Oh, good. They're open.
Greetings on this fine night. What brings you here?
How come you're still open?
The pawn shop is always open.
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Pyrrolidon. It's tough to come by on the street.
Pyrrolidon, what's that?
A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Sir, could you take off your sunglasses? I'd like to check your eyes.
Why on earth? These are prescription. I can't really see without them.
There's a note of indignation in his voice. Interesting. Those triangle patches on his vest, you have a feeling they mean something, like they're similar to the halogen rectangle on your jacket.
No judgment, just curious. I probably did loads of pyrohydrin before I lost my memory.
I've had to take it. You know, since the People's Pile cleaner. I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade.
He's taken for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
Tell me more about this emergency relief brigade you must have been part of. You were a part of, God. Okay.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized. Tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill. I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick.
The People's Pile? What's that?
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you too.
That must have been tough, radioactive cleanup.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment, and early death. Cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could.
Whose fault was it the generator failed?
No one's. Everyone's.
He sighs and shakes his head.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen?
How did you end up running a pawn shop?
The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it. So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forberg as I can. Still in the same city, but...
He shrugs. Thank you for telling me.
I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
I have something else to sell.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
The lieutenant steps in and hands him the spinners.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of his pawn shop.
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jump a mesque banger? No matter. I'll give you 200 real.
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
Lieutenant explains as the pawnbroker opens the register and counts the cash.
Of course. I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again.
Thank you.
He takes the cash, then turns to you.
Here's the 100 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
The rest goes in his pocket. Understandable, have a nice day.
The rest is for him, to compensate for the pain of being separated from his radiant spinners.
I'm sorry,
The
Kim.
windfall is a small consolation.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
No, thank you.
Another time, perhaps.
Alright, God, get me out of here.
Can I help you?
It's about the money I owe.
Yes. Have you got it?
How much do I owe again?
A lot. For the room and broken window, 100 real.
I have your money.
Well,
Here it is, sorry for the trouble.
great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow. I'll unlock the electronic lock to your room. All the doors lock automatically at 9 p.m. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
I'll take a room here too.
He opens his wallet.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
Goodbye. Kim, if I get in trouble, will you let me stay in your room? Kim. Okay.
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Okay, let's go.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM.
I didn't know you smoked, Kim.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
How'd you get so cool, Kim?
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will and unhealthy.
He flicks the ash.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit.
Alright then, the debrief.
Yes, it's been a long and eventful day.
How do you think today went?
Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easily approachable in that state, but we did it. I would say our initial inspection was very thorough, and we have solid leads to follow up. In addition, we got that body down from the tree, and we performed a field autopsy on the victim. We found some things we can really work with. I still feel like we missed something, but maybe the boys in processing will surprise us. We still have work to do at the crime scene. Now, as for interviews, my list of people to talk to here in Martinez,
I love doing interviews. Wait, let me read all these actually. And people love me. They love bathing in my glory.
I'm sure. Well, we conducted an interview with our player. He wasn't particularly forthcoming with useful information.
He's not saying much on the matter because he thinks you could have gotten more out of Everard.
He's a tough cookie, that one.
Claire also helped you, how should I say, remember your name? That's a relief.
Big relief. It's a very serviceable name, too.
Moving on. We talked to Joyce Monsieur, but didn't get any information from her. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us.
If Kim is emphasizing something this much, it really must be important.
Above all, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
I don't know why I do the things I do, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age, and in those hills.
He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger on his cigarette.
Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
He looks at your snakeskin shoes and smiles suddenly. So what are our powers exactly, the RCM?
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebashol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule.
Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse?
Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM.
Okay, what else?
We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station closely. It prevents confusion and overcrowding.
I see, and if someone resists?
We are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary, even lethal.
Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes. The last time was 4 years ago.
He says it matter-of-factly and moves on.
And what happens to the people we convict?
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Kourou and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
Wait, so if I kill someone on duty...
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best.
Have I ever killed anyone?
That's an improbability. Perhaps even impossibility.
No, I don't think I have.
Perhaps. But Precinct 41 is known for a higher than average rate of kills.
He raises his eyebrows.
He's not judging you. He's respectfully acknowledging the difficulty of working in your precinct.
And who makes all these rules?
The coalition government, and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less.
His gaze is absently fixed on a window below you that just went dark.
Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Rebashol or the coalition government founding the RCM.
Say nothing.
Silence. A great comment to such a conundrum.
The Moral Intern, what is it?
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed.
I really don't know. That's how bad it is in here. Point to your head.
Okay. They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
The Insane Clown Posse. What do they believe in?
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
Those others say they continue the humanist project set forth by Dolores Day.
What's their symbol?
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Something kind and usual. Something almost self-explanatory. Something ominous.
Who was Dolores Day?
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
What do you think of them?
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen.
It is more than that. There's some kind of affection in him.
You like the moral intern?
Yes, I did, when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky. They're not all that bad.
That's another leitmotif associated with moralism.
But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. No, I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me.
I have an opinion on the moral intern.
Do you?
On second thought, I don't have an opinion. Forget about it.
My kind of police officer.
Say nothing, just look into the night.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here. An aerostatic passes overhead, the whiskers of his floodlights on the ground below. Kitsuragi's glasses light up as he looks to the sky. Two glowing circles.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH.
He pulls on the cigarette. Why are they like this?
It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the union, to the company. Not daring to come here more often. It's like I told you, this place is an orphan, fallen between the cracks.
And in Jamrock and the GRIH?
We run this city. West of the river is RCM land.
He looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky.
It's incredibly hard. Human beings are. But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
I hope our investigation will help improve the situation here and at least do some good.
Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes.
Thank you for those.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
He puts the stub of his cigarette and looks to the door. The smell of sea makes you dizzy. The sea. See you in the morning. Bye, Kim. Is there like a bed in here? Is that my bed?
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
Not time to rest yet. I think we'll end here. Oops. I want to save. Woo! We finally got through our first day. Yeah, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Wow. That took so long. Like, how many... This is like, what, my 5th stream on this one? Like, I feel like... Wow. This game is long, but like, it's interesting. It's funny too. So, okay, let me see how the girlies are doing. Okay. We're gonna read my friend Lolly Do. She's doing her subathon, her donathon for a new computer. She has a Mac, so you know it's bad. Alright, gang. Thanks for joining me. I do appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!